I'm joined by Akira Mitsumasu from Japan Airlines, and Akira is also a member of the Apex Board of Directors. Thanks a lot for joining me, Akira. So you were a panelist in a conference session earlier today. Can you please give us a quick overview of what you were talking about, because it was quite a lively discussion.
Yes, it was a panel discussion on the future of customer experience. So we covered quite a broad area of topics, from talking about how important it is to really think of the customer, be customer-centric, to think of how we need leadership to drive new initiatives in having both the C-level and also the employee level to really come to understand what our brand stands for and why we need to do what we are doing and what our raison d'etre is as a company, and hence drive innovation and improve customer experience. So that was the key essence of the topic. Was talked about the areas about how to things like incentive compatibility, how we need to think of how customers actually behave, what expectations are, and also depending on the customer travel purpose. It could be business traveler or a leisure traveler, and the same person, but we have to understand that in order to be able to really understand their needs and be able to personalize that effectively.
And at Japan Airlines, you're doing a lot to drive innovation, to improve the customer experience at the moment. So can you please give me a quick overview of some of the projects that you're currently working on?
Yes, we did a couple of things. First, we've opened up a new innovation lab so that we can start really experimenting a lot of ideas, come up with new POCs and creating prototypes to see how they work. We also invite people from outside to actually try to use our new products to really get good feedbacks and try to make a lot of improvements and try to think of alternative ways of doing things better. So that's one thing we've started. We also created a new CVC. Essentially, it's a fund to allow us to look into investment opportunities to especially in areas that's related to air travel, so that we have enough resource to go out and fund these projects that we have. Another thing is that we have also a new business development department that goes into looking at a lot of these areas. It could be, for example, startups within the travel ecosystem to find partners to work with. So many things are going on currently in our company.
And here at the show, there's been a lot of talk about key technologies and trends that are really helping to shape and reshape the industry at the moment. So for you, what are those key trends that you feel that we should all be trying to keep on top of at the moment?
Yes, we talked a lot about biometrics and the ease of actually identifying the customer and knowing who that person is. I think this would really be a huge game changer in many sense. Obviously, there are concerns about privacy protection and about data and so forth, but if you come to think of it, it would really remove a lot of inefficiencies we have today, whereby a lot of brands and airlines and hotels are collecting information, analyzing information, but second-guessing what the customer would want or needs at whatever particular time. And we can actually change this by actually flipping this around and have customers review their true preferences and say that for this particular trip, this is who I am and these are my preferences. So if you could link the personal identification together with the information about the person's preference for this particular trip in a way that the owner of this information feels comfortable that all the previous concerns are being dealt with, then I think it would be able to work in a very safe environment, and hence more parties will be able to come in to participate in this ecosystem and platform. So that's one area where we are looking into. But having said that, we also look into a lot of other areas. For example, the use of blockchain technologies. How can we actually use that to create transactions in a situation whereby you don't have trust, but because of the technology behind blockchain, the ability to actually encrypt all the data, to share data in a safe way, then it could actually really create a lot of new scenarios that would allow a lot of other players to come into the travel space and be able to exchange value more effectively and efficiently.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for your time, Akira.